كثير من البشر حاولوا إنه يحللوا الذكاء عند الإنسان، وطلعت نظريات كثير مختلفة، ومن ضمنها النظرية اللي هلأ عم بتساعد خصوصاً مع الطلاب ذوي صعوبات التعلم أو اللي كنا نصنفهم اللي عندهم بعض الصعوبات، اللي هي نظرية الذكاءات المتعددة، واللي في كل بساطة بتحكي إنه الذكاء عند الإنسان مش نوع واحد زي ما كان متعارف عليه، أو الجنرال انتليجنس زي امتحان الاي كيو اللي كلنا بنعرف عنه. لكن هاي نظرية بتحكي إنه في تقريباً 8 أنواع من الذكاءات، زي الذكاء المنطقي اللي دخل بالماث والرياضيات والفيزياء، أو الذكاء الموسيقي، أو الذكاء اللينغويستيك اللغوي، وأكثر من نوع، وحتى في كمان منهم حالياً 2 جداد قيد الدراسة. الشخص صاحب هاي النظرية اسمه دكتور هاورد غاردنر، وهو الشخص اللي قدم هاي النظرية لنا للإديوكيترز، وهلا حابين بس هيك نروح نزوره شوي بمقابلة كثير بسيطة، وليتس جو and see him. All right, Dr. Gardner, thank you so much for being with us here today. And I would like to ask you a question. What do you think are the challenges in the education in this world today?
Well, I think more about developed countries than developing countries. But you yourself are working with IB schools, so
yes.
In a sense that's a developed country. I think the major challenges are that schools evolve for one kind of purpose, but we live in a world that's highly technological, and that first of all means a lot of things which we used to have to deliver in school is now available online, but also it means that number one, students need to be able to deal with change, and that's not something which was a high priority, and lots of the jobs that we have now will be done better by technology, AI or robots, and so we have to think about the occupational landscape for 2030 or 2040, not for 1980. And there's no place where educational systems are really geared for that. I mean, I would take a look at what Singapore is doing, maybe what some of the Scandinavian countries are doing, maybe Germany. You have elite schools in every country that are more with today, whether they're IB schools or United World College schools. That's who we work with. But for ordinary schools, public schools around the world, these are enormous challenges. True. In the developing world, it's somewhat different because there you do have to, acquiring the literacies is itself the challenge, and then some basic disciplinary skills, both in terms of thinking historically, thinking scientifically, but also just working regularly at things and getting better. But those are things that we can take for granted in the developed countries. It's the other issues that are the big challenge.
Okay, since we're moving towards the future, what are you currently working on?
I'm currently working on 3 things. One, I've finished a very large study of higher education in the United States, a very comprehensive study, and in the next year or 2 we're going to make sense of what we found, and I think it'll be relevant for higher education everywhere, even though it's a United States study. Number 2, as I just mentioned, we're doing a large study of United World Colleges all around the world, 17 different schools, trying to understand whether they're actually accomplishing what they want to accomplish. And the way to do that is to compare them with other schools which are not UWC schools, but are also highly aspirational. The third thing is that for about 20 years, I've been working on something called the Good Project, which is an understanding of what good work, good citizenship, good persons are in the United States. I want to take that globally. I want to discover what the common conceptions of goodness are in different societies and what the different ones are, because the ones in the United States may well not be appropriate for Asia or for certain parts of Europe, certain parts of Africa, certain parts of Latin America. And I'm not one of those arrogant Americans who think that we've got it figured out. On the contrary, if I think about our leadership now, we have a lot to learn from other parts of the world.
Well, thank you so much, and we need that, not just in the States, but definitely around the world, in the sake of humanity. Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right, thank you so much.